A beautiful national park with campsites around a little tiny little lake, with campsites around a hidden lake that is in the mountains, with observation towers that you need to hike to get up to, number one. And I hope you brought your parka, because it's gonna be cold up here, like minus 30, 40, it's cold winter, okay? Number two, and upgrading our downtown grid because yet again, you know, traffic. Oh my God. But guys, let's get into the meat and potatoes. Today is another exciting one. I'm always excited, but I am excited for this one. We are finally doing something that we probably should have done in like within the first 10 episodes, because we're in the Rockies. We're in one of the most beautiful parts of the world, and we don't even have like a national park or a nature reserve or anything. We just have a bunch of city parks. We've been building this crazy downtown sprawl. I'm gonna press play. We've been building this downtown. We put a lot of work into it, and we're just gonna keep on monitoring it. Right, as this, we're sitting at 86%. That's insane. I don't think I've ever had it that high. Even on a new city, I somehow get it to 20. We've done such a good job at creating a city here, but we forgot that this is this is like, in the real world, this is not a very large town, you know? I'm not sure the exact population. It's not a big, you know, Revelstoke is not a ginormous city like we've built. And I think we need to pay a little bit of homage to that fact. So we're gonna be doing a few things today. We are going to be building our national park, and I'm very excited about that. We're going to be placing it in this area right here. We're going to be doing some things that may seem controversial, but I'm doing them anyway because I want to create like something that happens in the real world in the game as much as possible. And in the game, it's going to seem very unrealistic, but in the real world, it is going to be very realistic. And like what that is we are going to have people like Sims or whatever scale the mountain and actually walk around the mountain. And it's not going to be we're not going to be putting like campsites up here or anything, but you know, in the real, like I have friends who live in this area. They don't live in Revelstoke, but they live nearby, and they mountain climb, and that's what they do. Like they love climbing mountains. They go to the top. That's what they do. So we're gonna have some of that in here as well. I would like to get up to like this peak over here. I think that would be really cool. Now, unfortunately, the only way to do that, I'm pretty sure, is to like have an observation deck. So we'll see about that. If we like it, we'll do it. If not, you know, we won't. But I like this peak for a few reasons. One, you can't see Death's ore mine. You know, Death's ore mine is over here. If we had something right here, which would be another option, you'd be able to see this ore mine right here, which would not be the greatest thing in the world, but it makes good money, so we don't have to worry about it. 17 grand a week, like come on. So we're probably gonna come over here, and also I really like this lake. It reminds me of Lake Louise. You know, it's definitely a lot higher, and there's no hotel right here, but it kind of reminds me of Lake Louise. You're right in between these two ginormous mountains. Looks really, really cool. But yeah, so we are going to be doing that today. Again, while we're doing that, we're gonna be watching traffic flow just to make sure that it doesn't completely destroy us, but I think we're gonna be okay. The first thing that we're going to do is create a little district over here. So let's come over into our park area and let's do that. So we're gonna start right here. We have this little road, Butler Road, that kind of comes in. There's a windmill over here. It's right by all these farmlands, and it's right by this area that I do want to build like a little small town in anyway. And I think that would just work out really, really nice. So let's just start to paint this area, and it's gonna be quite a large area. Maybe we even go with this bad boy right here. It'll probably extend. There's a road somewhere. Let me see. Right over here. So there's a road over here. Yeah, okay. So I think this park area will probably take up a lot of this. Maybe we come around over here and then up. I want it to come on to this lake over here. We're also gonna have it come up here, and we'll fill all this in, so don't even worry. And this little area, it'll come over here. I want it to walk down, and then I don't know where we'll go from here, but I'm just gonna do this for now. So it's gonna be a ginormous park, and not all of this is obviously going to be filled in with like amenities or like activities that they can do. Like, I mean, in the real world, you know, this would be a ginormous park. Like Revelstoke Park, I'm pretty sure it covers all of this, the whole thing. We're gonna do that. And then I just want this to look a little bit nicer. Perfect. And let's call this let's give it a little bit of homage. Or the Rockies. We'll call it the Rockies. We're gonna call this the Rockies National Park. It is a 142,000 cell size, whatever that means. It doesn't enter. It already has a pretty high entertainment value. I wonder why that is. And really quickly, we're gonna recycle garbage here. We're not gonna have any animals, so we don't have to worry about that. Advertising campaign, main park, fire for fight. We'll probably have a main park advertised campaign, and that will be it. I also wanted to check, do we have, no wonder that has so many people in it. I just want to make sure that these aren't, these other parks, main park, we're going to turn off that. We'll leave these on. No policies, no policies. Okay, I think that's fine. Hickory Park. Okay, cool. So this will be our main park. Now, a few things that we have to do. Let's place our first building. Nature Reserve main gate or the small main gate. Yeah, so I think we're gonna do the main gate right over here. And I'm wondering, do we just place it? I wanna do something a little bit more creative with this. So I think we might do like a little bit of a turnaround over here. So let's come into our dirt roads. I do like the dirt roads here. We'll turn off anarchy and let's just make a circle. Let's do a 10 by 10 circle. Will that even fit? Oh, I see. So let's come up 5 and now let's actually do a 5 by 5 circle. And I like this little house, so I think we're gonna move it and put it right in the middle of the circle. Or like, not necessarily like a roundabout over here. Not a roundabout, you know what I mean? Just like that. I think that looks kind of cool. And then we'll put our main gate right here. Perfect. So we've reached level 1. How exciting. So we have a few things, some tents, some campfire sites. That's fun. That's basically it, actually. Cool, cool, cool. I am going to, move that right about here. Awesome. So it does need water. So let's put some water pipes under the road. Well, it seems like this is actually where it ends, funny enough. So we can just bring it right over here and we'll connect those roads up in just a moment. And I guess because of the way that the water pipe mechanic works in this game, we're actually just going to place it right here. And now this is connected with the rest of the city, which is perfect. Let's come back over here, grab this road, and let's send this. Perfect. So just about here, and then it will turn into a dirt road. And we may end up changing this into a paved road eventually, but for now, I don't really think that it matters. I'm gonna look at our electricity really quickly. We do have this wind turbine. I don't think this even needs yeah, I don't think it does, which is quite nice. I don't want to add any parking just yet. All right, so what are the things that we have? We have the small nature reserve main gate, and then we have the side gates. Okay, so I'm thinking, not right now, but I do want to add a side gate over here eventually. That way, if you want to just come up to the lake really quickly, you can. And then this will be like the main one. So this will be like where all the camping is. And I want to have some campsites that kind of come around this little lake here as well. Let's look at our traffic flow, 82%. I literally am shocked that it's doing so well. All right, so let's do a few things. Let's go into park info. No visitors, obviously that's fine. We'll keep it at $10 for now. Cool, that's cool. So let's see. We need some campfire sites, and then we have these tents. I think these are just visitor capacity. I've never actually built one of these before, so I'm interested to see if the tents actually do anything or not. I don't really know. Regardless, let's start this. We'll start here, and we'll just kind of come around. I'm gonna turn on contours because it's going to get pretty crazy in this area. And we're just gonna take this around. I think we're gonna kind of meander our way around this lake, kind of come back around. This campsite or this area will probably be a little bit of a cul-de-sac, but that's okay because it's not part of the city. Well, I know it's not part of the city, but I think it's fine that it's going to be a cul-de-sac. And then we'll have some things that kind of come around here, end up there. Perfect. And then this one will come down, come over here. Perfect. Maybe we'll make our way up here. Cool, cool, cool. And then we'll come down to like here. And then we'll make our way back. Perfect, perfect. And then when we're up here, we're just gonna have a little bit of one that comes right there. Cool, cool, cool. Let's look. I think that looks kind of nice. Just as like a starting little area, I think it looks kind of cool, to be honest with you. Now let's add some campfires. We come around this lake. That looks really, I like that. I'm really digging it. I think what we're going to do though, is we are gonna come down over here. Turn on anarchy, because I don't care. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. And now let's add some campfire. So we'll add some campfire sites just along here. We'll connect them to the road. So let's see. We can put one over here. Let's do one down here. Very, very cool. It seems like we need to extend this. Perfect. Come back over here. Let's do campfire 2 now. I don't think that's on the road exactly. Perfect. Let's do these right across from each other as well, or like close to. Maybe we lump a few of them together. We'll put one up here and some tents as well. Okay, let's look at that. That is looking cool. Still no visitors. That's fine. It's probably pretty far away from everyone and everyone's just now finding out about the park, so that's okay. And when we look at these, we come a little bit closer. It's pretty cool. Like, this would be an awesome place to camp. You have this little river right here. Or not river, but little lake. I really like that. Maybe we can also name it. Could be kind of fun. Even though there's a windmill right here, don't love that. We can call this Windmill Lake. So this ugly ass windmill right there. Oh my god, that would be awful. Do we need this? We really don't need this windmill. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna move it. We're gonna move it over here. And yeah, we're still gonna name it Windmill Lake. And people will be like, oh, why is it called Windmill Lake? And they'll be like, oh, because, you know, there used to be a windmill here. And they'll be like, why was there a windmill? And we'll say, I don't know. So it seems like no one is driving up here. So let's see. People come here, but no one comes up here. That's okay. No one is going to our little town yet, or our little thing yet, and that's okay. So I'd have to come over here. So what I actually want to do as well is I would like to upgrade this to a highway. So I think that makes a little bit more sense, to be honest with you. That's an ugly connection. So let's actually see. Let's come all the way over here. This is a 2-lane highway. Oh, I see. I would like to come in to move it really quickly and just see if we can make this look a little bit nicer. That looks actually better. That's quite the turn, but that's okay. And then I want to upgrade the rest of this as well. So we're going to upgrade this really quickly to a highway because that would just make sense. Perfect. And then once you get into here, this is where like the town kind of will start. I'm really surprised that we have absolutely nobody coming this way. And I'm wondering if there's one other thing that we can do. So we severed this connection long ago and we haven't needed it because there's been nothing over here. So the only way to get in here is to come down through here or come over through our downtown area, or not our downtown, but our like whatever town, blah, 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 blah area, which is not the most efficient way to get there. So I think we're going to create a mini little interchange right here. The issue that we are going to run into is that it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Super high slopes. So it'll be a little bit of a trick, but I don't know about you, but I'm up for it. So let's take a quick second to think about how we want this to look. So how we're going to start this off is we're going to go into our 1U road, turn on anarchy. We're going to go elevated for everything here just to make it a little bit easy on ourselves. And we're going to start with our exits. So we're going to come and put one right here. Then we're going to have an exit that's kind of farther away right here. That makes sense. Across from that, we're going to have another one. Perfect. And then across from right here. So this is going to kind of come into the hillside here, the mountainside, but that's okay because so be it. Perfect. Just like that, just to start everything going on. Then we're going to come, because I really like the way that this turned out and my other interchanges could use some work. We'll put it that way. So I think we're going to come in here and then use our create connection modes to create our connections over here. The one thing that I think that we need to do first is we're going to take both of these, or actually just this one away. Actually, let's put them back. So this is when they kind of come together. So actually we are going to take both of these away. And now we're going to create a connection mode between these. So this will be coming up this way. So let's look at this. We're gonna try just like this. This will be our first one. So this is probably gonna be like the easiest one. And then we'll kind of see if this works. So then we're gonna create one more. It'll be right here. This will come up to about here. Maybe we make this a wee bit wider, just like that. And then we can even make this one wider as well. I actually do like that. So we can come to here, and then I want to see, can we move this? Damn, I was trying to do something. So maybe we leave this one right over here. The small one, we bring this. Like that. We'll put that in like there. Cool, cool, cool. And now we need to do this other side. There's a way to move this, but I don't know how. But I think it would actually make more sense to be on the other. Click on node to change direction. Double click on center cert. Aha, that's what we're looking for. That is what we're looking for. Perfect. So let's come over here and let's look at this one. I like the way that that looks. Kind of comes around. Cool, cool, cool. That makes tons of sense to me, to be honest with you. And we can change these curves later. And then let's grab this right here. Perfect. Oh my God. Let me just make sure this looks dandy. Yeah. And we'll come to about, oh, yeah, it doesn't actually matter because we can just come into arrange at line mode and kind of make these curves perfect. So let's click this one in, and that looks really nice. And then what we're going to do actually is take these out. We're gonna go like this, come back into our dirt roads, turn off anarchy, turn on road guidelines, and just connect these up. Perfect. And then with this one right here, we're gonna come in just like that. Like, does it get better? Question, does it? I don't think it does. I really don't. Then we're gonna go into create slope mode, and we're gonna grab up to here. And now this is going to be a crazy slope, 10. Ooh, maybe we try to fix these later, because once you're up here, it's relatively flat. So maybe I'm gonna leave it for now. And then once the interchange is working as intended, then actually, maybe not. Maybe I won't leave this now. We're gonna grab it all the way up to, let's say here. So we have this 8.2. I think that's what we do, to be honest with you. And then we're gonna grab here to here, and we're gonna send this down, which works out well because now this is going to be below this other interchange, or this other area right here. Perfect. And then we can even grab this, raise this up a bit, and now it's a 9, which is pretty crazy, but it clears, which is what I was most worried about. And then we can take this and do the same thing. So this is a 12, which is that's wild, absolutely wild, but it kind of works over here, which is insane. So now we can come into our range at line mode, and we can come here, and let's see how this looks. So we'll bring this over there, arrange at line mode. And I actually liked what we had before. So let's bring this back a bit. And let's come up to about here. So we'll do above ground. That's fine. Turn off road guidelines. And we'll come down like here and come around. Let's look at that. I think, honestly, I think that looks a little bit better. We're still going to go into slope. In 8.3, we look, it clears. Awesome, awesome, awesome. There are maybe some areas over here that aren't sloped, but that's okay. And then we look, this is the one that is what we need to do is we need to look at these and say, oh, what are the highway ramps that look out of place, right? And it's this one right here. I think when we clean this one up, the whole area is gonna kind of come together. So that looks much better. I honestly think that looks much better. Let's look at our traffic flow, 83%, absolutely crazy. Now let's upgrade these roads. Turn off anarchy. Actually, maybe we turn it on. Turn on anarchy, and we just upgrade these. I don't know why we're in underground mode. Now, if we look, it looks pretty good, to be honest with you. The only thing that I really want to do now is come in and really just smooth this out. So we'll look at our brush, and we'll just come in here just like this. And we'll probably upgrade some of these to be on the ground, obviously. But yeah, I think that looks quite nice. Here, that's okay, because we need to be a few feet above this road anyway. So now let's upgrade these to be on the ground. We'll take this. That looks fine. Perfect. This one will stay above, but we could upgrade this one. Like, I think that makes sense. I think it does. And then we can come into some of these areas like this, set slope. Set slope. I think there's a node over here that needs to be a slope. This one definitely needs to be a slope. Boom. This, come in to move it and just fix these around a bit. That looks pretty good, to be honest with you. Cool, cool, cool. We'll come back in here and we'll continue to feather this out a bit. Make it look just a wee bit nicer. We don't need to go crazy. I think that that is honestly looking really, really nice. There are a few things that we could change, and let me know in the comment section if you want them changed. I don't think it's necessarily a priority that we do change them. They would only be, oh, one thing I do actually want to fix is right over here. We're gonna come and add a node right there, then upgrade this right like that. That makes sense to me. Perfect. So now we have a little bit of an interchange over here. A little bit of it looks like a Y interchange or a T interchange. And we're going to decorate it super, super, super fast as well. Really quickly, traffic flow 77. Our downtown starting to look a little rough. So let's pause the game really quickly. I just want to look at this super, super fast, promise. Okay, so we're just gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to go around and try to make little fixes. I'm just gonna try to make little fixes. I'll show them when I can, and hopefully, you know, it kind of starts to sort itself out. All right, guys, here is the long and short of it, okay? I have been working diligently for like, what time is it? 5 hours, probably? 5 hours? That's insane to say out loud. Like I don't know if you can tell, but the color of my face just changed because the sun is no longer out. That is how long it's been. So I'm gonna give you the cliff notes on what I did, because I mean, I didn't really want to record 5 hours of playing, and honestly, half of it was just running this on 3 times speed and waiting for the traffic to get bad, because the population went down to about 60,000, and then we started like changing things. So I've been waiting for it to go back up to 135,000, and then, you know, waiting. So we're up to 146, which is pretty crazy. So these are the things that we did. Firstly, we upgraded this arterial. So this 6-lane road that we had that was going all the way through our city, we upgraded it from the roundabouts closest to the highway interchange into a collector. And the reason for this was because we didn't have a lot of connectivity through here. Part of the problem with having a ginormous park in the middle of your downtown area is that cars can't get from one side to the other without going through your collectors, right? Like they can't do that. So, and then on top of that, this was an arterial. So you couldn't even hop onto the arterial and go and try to like make your way over there. So I had a few, I'm gonna keep on traffic flow just for this entire conversation. So I had a few like, I built some underground ones, and I was like, this is just so unrealistic. Like, why is this happening right now? So I just decided like, why don't we change this arterial into a collector? We'll link up all the roads, and we did that down here. And this is where it's making a huge difference, because if you remember, our main problem was right here. We made a few other connections. I forget where they were, to be honest with you, but for whatever reason, oh, over here. So one of these was going underground, and that one was full. A couple of these were going underground. Those were all full as well. Honestly, linked them up with this collector, and it's working out much better, if I'm being honest with you. Honestly, I think I'm gonna change this one as well. We are going to go into our roads and just send that out there. Perfect. And then we're gonna come in here and we're gonna take out these nodes just because they might mess some things up because they're really close to the other ones. But just like that, right? Just like that helps a lot with the connectivity. I think that was like one of the main issues. So I'm gonna keep on our traffic flow, and if it gets bad again, I will disappear and it will be fixed. Because yeah, like that's the one thing that I realized while I was doing this was like, because I'm playing and recording, if I screw up and make a mistake, I'm not able to fix it as easily, because to be honest with you, it's just like, I don't just want the whole episode would just be me fixing mistakes that I've made, which like, let me know if you want to see that, but I think it's boring. I think it would be boring. So I just didn't want to do it. The one thing we do want to fix here, that's going to be a light. So we have to take that off. So this area right here, this is still our arterial, but that's because it's close to the highway, and I want to give it a little bit of a buffer room. And then this is when we start on our collector. And I think this just makes a lot more sense if we're being real with each other. I think it just makes a lot more sense. It's kind of opened things up a little bit. Yeah, I've been watching the traffic flow to see where the hotspots happen for like, again, 5 hours. So I think it's gonna do okay. We're gonna drop back down to 1 speed and we are going to leave this area. After this episode, I'll probably leave it on for another couple hours just to see how it runs and see if we can identify some hotspots. But let's get back to building our park. The cool thing about waiting 5 hours for our traffic to screw us up again is we can come over here and we made it to level 2 and we're almost level 3, which is awesome. And all we did was plant some some tents and some campfires and stuff. So our park is doing quite well, which is pretty exciting. And now we can kind of start to expand it a little bit. So I would love to do some lookout points. And the first one I think we're gonna do is we're gonna put a lookout point right up here. So if we come into our parks and we go into our nature reserve, at level 2, we got our viewing decks. I believe there are other viewing decks as well. We don't have any of those yet, but that's okay. We also have this tent camping site, which is kind of fun. Maybe we can put this like, maybe we can put one like over here and then put one over here. And nothing too crazy with these two guys. It's just, oh, actually though, we should come into Bob and let's change these trees. Perfect. So now they're pine just like the rest of the trees, and I think that just looks really nice. Then we're gonna come over here and we're just gonna feather this out a bit. Or actually, we're gonna do this. And we'll do the same thing here. And now we'll feather it out to make that look a wee bit nicer, a little bit more planned. Me planning things? Clearly not. 82%, we're still chilling. I'm nervous. Now we have these viewing decks and I'm really excited about these viewing decks. So we have 1 and we have 2. So if you actually have ever been, if you've ever been to the mountains and you climb up the mountain, they will have viewing decks. So it's not abnormal to place them over here. So the only thing is we just have to figure out how we're gonna get up here. Now, there are 2 things that we could do. One of them I think might be a little bit more, not realistic, but like if you go to mountainous areas and you go to the top of the mountains, there's usually 2 ways to get there. One, people just climb on their own. They just climb right up and that's what they do. They literally hike up to the top of the mountain. Or there is like an easy kind of pathway up, right? So, and it's usually like bridges and that kind of thing. So I'm thinking for this lake over here, which I think we're gonna call this. We're gonna call this Hidden Lake. I just like that. I think that's a fun name for a lake. I don't know. For Hidden Lake, I think we're gonna have a little bit more of an easy kind of pathway up. And we'll kind of have a bridge that kind of comes around and makes its way up into the lake, and it'll kind of come around all the way. But for over here, I think it would make sense for people to climb up. I think that would make sense. Not only would it make sense, but it would be kind of cool as well. You know, in the game, I don't know if the game will handle it amazingly. It would happen in real life. So yeah, we're gonna leave anarchy on and we're gonna come into our freeform, and I think we're gonna come up this area right here. So this seems like where water would flow, and we'll kind of come around and make our way up around it in areas that make sense, right? Like obviously if you're a person, you're not gonna walk straight up this way, but you might make it up here and then come around this way, right? And then come up like up there. But this seems like the most logical way to hike up, in my opinion. So we're actually going to come up on this way. So we're gonna break off here, and we'll probably break off here as well. And maybe we just connect these up. Cool, cool, cool. And then we'll make our way up. So at this point, now we're going to break into our, what are they called? Our invisible paths. So we have a few different types of paths here. These ones right here, the invisible pedestrian path that don't say 8 meter, these ones are not terraforming. So if you look and I bring this path down here, and then if we do these ones and you bring this down here, you'll notice, actually that didn't change anything. I tested this earlier, so you just gotta trust me. I tested this over here. I'll show you what I mean. All right, I guess not, but we're gonna do it anyway because I remember it working. So we're gonna take these paths. These ones are not terraforming. The other ones are, I swear to God. And we're gonna make our way up. What we might end up doing though, let's use our gravel paths and then upgrade them to be invisible afterwards. We're just gonna kind of make our way up this area because this is how I feel like people would walk. And then they would probably come around a bit. Turn off guidelines. Yeah, they would probably come around a bit and make their way the mountain on this side. And then come right, and then this would be the lookout area. So I think that looks pretty cool. Well, let's place our observation viewing deck. We'll place it right here. And if we look, like this would be an absolutely gorgeous view. Unfortunately, there's some farmlands down there, but I mean, so be it, I suppose. So be it. This would be awesome, to be honest with you. I'm going to leave one path here just so that we know where it is, but then we're just gonna upgrade this all the way down to be invisible. We're gonna start it here so you see a little bit of a transition, right? So you see like, oh, this is where like the nature reserve path ends, and then we have this gravel path, and this one's a little bit more made, and then it turns into nothing. And I really like that. I think that's super cool with just this little observation area. I think that's awesome, to be honest with you. Now let's look at our park and see. So we're pretty close to level 3. I'm not too worried about getting this to the highest level. I'm not like in any rush for that. No, obviously we will get it there. The other area that we're gonna do is we're gonna take this path, and the only reason why it's still in is because I just want to be able to see where the path is. We will upgrade all of these to be invisible up here, up on this area. So we're gonna come around. So this would be like a little bit of a hike, obviously, and you would just kind of hike up around the mountain. And then I want this path to go up here, and you would like kind of scale the cliff a little bit. I mean, this looks pretty deadly, if I'm being honest with you. So maybe we won't go out to here, like to the end of this peak, but maybe we'll come out to like this one right here. I think that would be a little bit more safe. Yeah, I do. Let's turn on our contours really quickly. That's the highest one anyway, to be honest with you. Yeah, so we'll keep our contours on just so that we know we're going great. I mean, it's going to be crazy. That's the thing. So let's actually turn them off because I don't want to know. I don't want to know how crazy it is. And we'll do this area afterwards. I'm not too concerned with that right now. We're gonna come up. We're gonna come up just like this. And if you're like, man, this is like, you're really scaling the mountain here. That's what people do. They literally do this. They pay to go into these parks to scale mountains. And if you think that's crazy, it is crazy awesome. It's so much fun. I haven't hiked up to the top of a mountain. Well, it's not true actually. I've hiked up to the top of the mountain twice, to be honest with you. Perfect. So now we're actually gonna leave it right up here. And let's go into our contours, not to look at how crazy everything is, but to just look, I actually want it right here. Actually, this might have been a better idea. Let's do that. So let's take these out. It's hard to tell when you're building it where the highest peak is, right? I've actually been to the top of a mountain twice. One, my wife and I, we got married in Banff, so Alberta, which is like a couple hours from here. We got married on top of a mountain, and we took a helicopter up, and then I'm just gonna flip this, put it right here. Perfect. We're gonna bring it down just like that. Awesome. And now you have this beautiful observation tower. Like, look at that. That is incredible. And if we click this, so we don't have anybody visiting here yet. That's fine. Let's look at our traffic flow is still okay. Very, very, very nervous about that. But yeah, so my wife and I, we got married on top of a mountain, which was awesome. And we took a helicopter up, and then we kind of walked up the mountain, which was really, really cool. And then I went one time when I was snowboarding in Kelowna, my buddy and I, we took off our snowboard and climbed to the peak of the mountain of the ski hill and took some photos. So that was pretty sweet too. All right, so the next area, well, actually, no, we need to change this into a, well, let's do this. We're gonna go to our nature reserve, and we are going to create a path that kind of goes all the way around here. And we will use our contours for this. And we're just gonna kind of follow along the edge of this lake on this one contour. Now in real life, you probably wouldn't have this. You'd probably have like a little opening that people go to and they take all their photos and whatnot. And so you don't actually get to walk around, but I think it would be much more fun to do it this way, if I'm being honest with you. Perfect. So now we have this path kind of meanders all the way around, and oh my God, that would be amazing. Can you imagine awesome this would be? Like oh my, I can't even. And then we're gonna have a path, this path come down this way. So this is going to be our invisible path, and it's going to link up right here. So now let's come into our pathways, into our invisible ones, and let's upgrade these. So now we probably won't have a lot of people that are hiking this, and that it makes sense because it's not like we don't want to have too many things up here that people can do, right? Like that's not the goal of this. The goal of this is to have just a few people, you know, maybe one tourist a year kind of thing that climbs the mountain, come up here. Now just amazing. So now let's upgrade this one to be invisible as well. Perfect. So now it barely exists except for these very two observation decks, which I just think is so neat. I just think that's so cool. Like, wow, look at that. That's cool. Oh, because that's what, yeah, again, that's what would happen in real life. Honest to God. Now, I want to have some campgrounds up here, right? This is a pretty steep hill, so we're not gonna like come up it or anything, but I would love to have some campgrounds over here. What we want to do before that though, is this is not going to be the easiest way up, clearly. So we need to find a nice, safe way to get down from up here, and then we can add some campgrounds, right? Like, how would grandma get up is kind of what I'm thinking for this area. You know what I'm saying? So let's look at our terrains. Pretty intense. The trees are deceiving. It makes it seem a lot easier than it actually is. So I think what we're going to do is we're gonna come down. Honestly, I think we're just gonna start from here. We are just going to kind of, yeah, we're gonna snake our way down. Okay, so now let's look at this and think about it a little bit logically. These would probably be the same height. Realistically, maybe a little bit less, right? So let's bring this down, like, because it doesn't need to be like a road necessarily. See, in the real world, there's stairs. In the game, there's not, which is one of my biggest complaints, is that the lack of stairs in this game. And then this comes around. That's actually not that bad. 5.4. Yeah, like that's kind of nice. 10.5. That's not awful either. 0.9. That's don't know about that. Yeah, I'm gonna control H that to here. Now it's 0. So now we'll bring this down to like there. That's fine. Yeah, and then we'll take this, control H it actually, and then we'll bring this. Let's do 0. Perfect. And then actually we'll start here, bring this down. And that makes a little bit of sense, right? 7.5. See, that looks nice. That looks like it would actually exist somewhere. This is actually a lot of fun. Who knew? That looks good. This area looks not awful. That looks pretty good, honestly. Come over here. That makes sense. They do, like, they don't, like, they will carve a little bit. Because these will be, like, huge tourist destinations. And ooh, I don't love the way that looks. That looks pretty awful. So let's actually take this and we'll bring this up. Let's say to here. But these spots are moneymakers, right? Like, oh, that's actually up. That's funny. No. But not only are these moneymakers, but they're also, like, this is where people go and they realize that nature's actually beautiful. So like a park, yeah, it's not great. Like this doesn't look awesome when you're like down here. And you're like, oh wow, look at the mountain with those bridges. However, that's how these places stay the way they are, right? I don't know, I'm just talking now. I don't even know if that's true. This is a little bit too, I'm actually gonna bring this up a bit. Yeah, it's still pretty high, but Let's take these. How's this? That looks better. Kind of coming in just like this. Grab over here. Cool. That looks much better. That looks nice as well. And then obviously there's, like I said, there's going to be areas that we're going to upgrade. Actually, let's bring this up a bit. Upgrade to be on the ground. It's just words, you know, just words. Don't worry about me. This would probably be an area where the stairs are, you know what I'm saying? All right, there's our little windy way to get up the mountain and over to Hidden Lake. Really quickly, we're gonna add some campgrounds over here, some campfire sites, because I think that would be honestly just beautiful. Let's put one right here, put one over here, one over there. Perfect, and then let's add some tents as well. We'll just have one tent. Maybe these small ones we'll put two. I like one tent beside these campgrounds. Nothing crazy. We don't want a ton of people up here. There's a bit of a stretch here with nothing. That's fine. I think that looks really nice. This would probably be one of the best places ever to camp. Like imagine that. Just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Now let's upgrade these to be on the ground. And then I think we're like some of them. And then I think we're pretty finished with some of this. Come like to here, come around there a little bit. You know, we'll come here. Perfect. We'll do like this to there. Really, really nice. This looks like it would be a bridge. This looks like it would be on the ground. This would all be a bridge, 100%, up until about here. This would be a bridge, bridge. Maybe one spot here, but it looks pretty bad if it is. We'll do one there. This would more than likely be a bridge as well. Maybe not. Maybe some of it would be like that. Yeah, I think that looks good. This area. And then from here on outward, I think this would be all on the ground. Cool, cool, cool. Then we're gonna come into our brush and we're just gonna feather it out just a little bit around these areas. Nothing crazy over here. That was awful. That's awful too. I think just like a little bit of this. Not to flatten it out, but to just, yeah, like that looks nice. Make it look a little bit more natural. Yeah, that looks good. So we forgot about our traffic flow and it's still looking good, which is crazy. The sun is fully out, as you can see. I started filming probably like noon today and now it's dark outside. Let's look, do these have any tourists? 0 tourists, that's okay. Do these have tourists? 0 tourists, that's okay. They'll probably take a minute to get up there, I would imagine. We do have people that are walking around here, which is nice. Garbage is piled up. Oh, it's gone now. Cool, so I like this area. I think this area is really coming together. This nature reserve is super, super cool. It's ginormous as well, which is awesome. I love how big it is. The only thing that I wanted to do before was to have a side gate over here, but I don't even think we're gonna do that. I think we're just gonna have this kind of wrap all the way around. Let's come into our park area super quickly and see where it is. Yeah, that's actually fine. We can shave off a little bit. We don't have to though. Just up to here, just, I don't even know why, just maybe in case of something. I don't even know what. Because we don't need it, I guess. Cool, cool. Everything looking really, really nice down here. Awesome. Love to see it. So we're almost at level 3. I'm not too worried about that. We can like let it upgrade if we want. We can run it faster. We'll let it upgrade. I don't think it's gonna bring us anything that we need. Let's look at our downtown. It's still okay. I'm just so nervous about traffic. It's crazy. You know, just yeah. So we're gonna keep watching it and just fixing things here and there. But I won't do it all on camera just because it's gonna get boring every episode fixing things in our downtown. Like you don't need that. You don't need that at all. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna let this get to level 3. I like it. I think we've done some good work here today. We did a lot, to be honest with you. And yeah, guys, if you made it this far and you liked the video, like the video. If you loved the video and are not subscribed, what are you doing, man? Subscribe down below. Consider joining. No pressure at all, but if you want to support the channel, consider joining the channel. That would make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Comment down below. Peace out.